How would you react if your child suddenly started speaking of a past life they once lived? This question may seem outlandish, but for some, it's a reality that's both fascinating and unsettling. The concept of reincarnation, the philosophical or religious belief that an individual's soul is reborn in a new body after death, has been a part of human culture for thousands of years. Across the globe, stories abound of children who seem to remember details from past lives, details they shouldn't logically know. These stories are as captivating as they are eerie, raising questions about the nature of life, death, and the human soul. They challenge our understanding of reality, poking holes in the linearity of time and life as we know it. So, brace yourself as we journey into the unknown. Prepare to delve into 7 uncanny stories of children who claim to remember their past lives. Imagine a child from Oklahoma, Ryan, who vividly remembers a life in Hollywood, a life filled with glitz, glamour, and fame. But this wasn't just any life. It was the life of Marty Martin, a Hollywood actor from the golden era. Ryan's recollections were not vague memories, but specific details that he, as a young boy from Oklahoma, could not possibly know. He spoke of Martin's extravagant life, his successful acting career, and even his private moments that were only known to the actor himself. The specifics were so accurate that they were almost eerie. Ryan knew about Martin's life, his career, his passions, and even his death, details that were not common knowledge. This young boy from Oklahoma was living proof of an extraordinary phenomenon. Intriguing, isn't it? How could a child know such specific details about a Hollywood actor's life? From Hollywood, we move to the skies of World War II. Meet James Leininger, a boy with a peculiar affinity for World War II fighter planes. His knowledge wasn't just child's play, it was extensive, detailed, and eerily accurate. But what truly startled his parents were his nightmares, where he'd relive a terrifying ordeal of being shot down by enemy aircraft. James's dreams were no random horror show. They bore striking resemblance to the experiences of a real fighter pilot named James Houston. Houston was a World War II pilot whose life was tragically cut short when his plane was shot down over the Pacific. The specifics of his ordeal and the intimate knowledge of 1-2 aircraft that James possessed were details a child his age would have no ordinary way of knowing. The uncanny similarities between James's nightmares and the real life of James Houston leave us questioning reality. From the skies of war, we land on the serene greens of a golf course. Picture a child of just 2 years, Hunter, who claimed to be the reincarnation of a golf legend, Bobby Jones. Not just any golfer, but a man who had made his mark on the sport in the early 20th century, long before Hunter was even born. Hunter's knowledge of Jones was not limited to just the game. He could identify Jones's childhood home, his favorite golf course, even the intricacies of his swing. These were not common facts, but intimate details of a life lived decades ago. The accuracy of Hunter's memories, his uncanny ability to describe Jones's life, leaves us in a state of profound wonder. What are we to make of it? Is it possible that the spirit of Bobby Jones found a new home in this young boy? Could a 2-year-old have fabricated such detailed memories? Let's now dive into the world of classic cinema. Imagine a child, let's call him Lee, claiming that in a past life, he was a screenwriter for iconic movies like Gone with the Wind. Sounds far-fetched, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Lee didn't just make vague claims. He knew intricate details about the life and career of Sidney Howard, the actual screenwriter for Gone with the Wind. Now, you may be thinking, well, maybe he's just a film buff. But how do you explain his knowledge of obscure biographical details? How would a child know about Howard's farm in Massachusetts or his tragic death in a tractor accident? These aren't exactly common trivia. Lee's story raises intriguing questions about the nature of memory and the possibility of past lives. How could a child know such intricate details about a Hollywood screenwriter? From the glamour of Hollywood, we move to the dark times of World War II. Meet Barbo, a girl whose story chills to the bone. Barbo, despite never setting foot in Amsterdam, described the interior of a specific house with uncanny accuracy. This was no ordinary house, but the very one where Anne Frank and her family hid from the Nazis. But that's not all. Barbo was plagued by nightmares, terrifying dreams that mirrored the fear and desperation Anne Frank wrote about in her diary. She dreamt of hiding, of running from a danger that was all too real in Anne's time. Barbo's knowledge of the Franks' home, coupled with her disturbing dreams, raises a fascinating question. Could she be remembering a past life as Anne Frank? The similarities are too striking to dismiss out of hand. The parallels between Barbo's nightmares and Anne Frank's life are eerie, aren't they? Let's travel to a small village in India for our next story. Meet Pramod, a young boy with a story that defies logic. Despite never having left his village, Pramod claimed to have owned a shop in a town miles away. His vivid memories were not just of the shop, but also of the intricate details of his supposed past life. He remembered the hustle and bustle of the market, the aroma of spices wafting from his shop, and the joyous festivals that filled the town with colour. Most importantly, he remembered the cause of his previous life's demise. As the story unraveled, his claims were investigated, and shockingly, the details added up. The town, the shop, the festivals, and even the cause of death of the previous shop owner, everything corroborated Pramod's story, a tale too intricate for a child's imagination. Wouldn't you agree? Pramod's story leaves us wondering about the mysteries of life and death. Our final story takes us to the picturesque Barra Island in Scotland. Meet Cameron, a regular Scottish lad with an extraordinary tale to tell. He claims that in a past life he resided on this very island. Now you might be thinking, surely he could have seen it on television or heard about it from someone. But here's the twist. Cameron knew intricate details about a very specific house on the island. He could describe the colour of the walls, the layout of the rooms, even the view from the windows, and when he finally visited Barra, he led the way to the house he had so vividly described, matching his memories to the smallest details. His parents, the skeptics turned believers, could only watch in awe as their son strolled around a place he'd apparently never been before. Cameron's story adds yet another dimension to the enigma of reincarnation. We've journeyed through 7 fascinating stories of children who claim to remember their past lives. Each tale, unique and compelling, has led us through an exploration of the past, as seen through the eyes of these young ones. From Ryan in Oklahoma, who recounted the life of Hollywood actor Marty Martin with unsettling accuracy, to James Leininger, a boy with an uncanny knowledge of World War II fighter planes and vivid nightmares of being a downed pilot. The possibility of past lives continues with Hunter, who claimed to be the golf legend Bobby Jones, and Lee, who believed he penned classics like Gone with the Wind in a previous life as screenwriter Sidney Howard. Not forgetting the haunting story of Barbara, a girl who vividly remembered the life of Anne Frank, or Pramod, a boy from India who recalled owning a shop in a village he'd never set foot in. And finally, we have Cameron from Scotland, whose detailed memories of life on Barra Island were confirmed upon a visit. These stories, each unique yet interconnected, challenge our understanding of life, death, and the nature of our existence. They raise profound questions about the human spirit and its journey. Could the concept of reincarnation, debated and contemplated for thousands of years, hold a kernel of truth? Could our lives be but a single chapter in a larger, ongoing narrative? The stories we've explored today don't provide definitive answers. Instead, they invite us to engage with the mystery, to question and explore the boundless possibilities of our existence. They remind us that life's mysteries are not meant to be solved, but to be lived, experienced, and pondered. Whether these stories are proof of reincarnation or not, they certainly make us ponder the mysteries of life, death, and what lies beyond.